Hi everyone, in this video I will be sharing with you my experience of using public transport in Japan. Now, Japan's public transport is quite reliable and efficient. However, it can get confusing sometimes. Hence, in this video, I will share with you my first-hand experience of using public transport in Japan, and also I'll share a few tips along the way. So let's get into it. First, you need a travel card. Travel cards are essential if you want to use subway, metro, and buses. Well, there are three types of travel cards: Suica, iCoca, and PASMO. All three things basically do the same thing, so you don't have to buy three separate cards, and you can download these travel cards in your iPhone. I've got a link somewhere up here that points to a different video of mine where I explain how you can install or you can download these cards on your iPhone. Unfortunately, it does not work on Android. You'll have to buy a physical card. A physical card can be obtained from the vending machines located outside the train stations. There is a 500 yen deposit that you have to pay while purchasing this card. This deposit, however, is refundable, and also you can use these as payment cards. You can pay for things at convenience stores like Lawson and 7-Eleven, which I find pretty cool, right? So any leftover balance towards the end of your trip, you can purchase things in 7-Eleven, and also you can do split payments using this card and credit card or cash, which is pretty cool. That dials into tip number one. Cash is king. I remember that when I landed in Osaka, I had to get the physical travel card because I'm an Android user. So I went to the vending machine and none of my credit or debit cards would work. So I had to go to the money exchange shop, get absolutely terrible rates for money exchange. But I had to do that so that I could pay in cash to get the travel card itself. Hence, always get cash. Cash is king, and try as much as possible not to get money exchange done on the airport. You get ripped off. It's absolutely terrible when it comes to money exchange rates. Alright, that brings me to section 2, local trains, metros and buses. And in these areas, travel cards are fantastic. You just tap in and tap out, and that's as easy as it goes. I've also found that Google Maps is quite effective in pointing you to the directions. I know that some people struggle using Google Maps, but I used Google Maps throughout my trip. I found it super convenient and the directions were super clear once you know how to read what the directions are. So I'll show you an example now. Here in this example, I'm trying to travel from a random spot near Toyocho Station all the way to Sensoji Temple. Now, when I put it on Google Maps, what it shows me is that I've got many options. Let's select this combination with the Tozai line and the Ginza line. So it tells me that I have to walk about 15 minutes to Toyocho Station, that is marked by letters T14, and I have to enter via entrance number 2. I have to take the Tozai line towards Nakano Station being the end station. My train is at about 5:17 a.m. and it also tells me that the next scheduled train towards that direction is at 5:22 a.m. and if I click on that, it will give me future times as well. It tells me that the train is a 10-carriage train and I should take the third carriage so that I can exit the train faster and get onto the next line quickly. And it tells me that I have to get down at Nihonbashi Station, that is marked by T10. It tells me that I have to walk around 2 minutes, which usually is a change in stations. And then I need to get into the Nihonbashi Station marked by G11, that represents G for Ginza. And I have to take the Ginza line towards Asakusa, which comes at platform number 2. The train is at 5:30 a.m. I have to ride 8 stops and get down at Asakusa Station G19. When I am at Asakusa Station, I have to take exit number 3 and I have to follow signs to Sensoji Temple. It also tells me that the cost of this travel would be around 209 yen and it will take approximately 44 minutes. However, Google will not allow you to filter your route type based on the pass you have. Here, you can use apps like Navitime, where you can filter your route options based on the type of passes that you have, which I find is quite handy. That dials into tip number 2. Similar locations can often have 2 stations with the same name, but serving different lines. Well, as you can see in Asakusa, you've got 3 stations with the same name. You have got this Asakusa station that serves the Toei lines and subway lines. You've got this Asakusa station that serves the Tokyo Skytree line and the railway lines. And then you've got this Asakusa station that serves the Limited Express lines. If switching between lines, you'll have to exit one train station and get into the other train station. If you get confused and don't understand something, please ask the guys who work at the railway station. You can find them outside the exit and the entry gates, or sometimes in the public information booth. They are super friendly, super helpful. Sometimes they might not understand English, but they will go out of their way to help you. That dials into section 3, buses. Now, buses operate differently from subway and metro trains. They are cheap, fast, reliable, and cover most areas where trains would not go. I used buses a lot in Kyoto to access shrines and many other places. You can use your travel card on buses. However, this might not apply to long distance interstate buses. Usually, the buses that operate within a city have a flat fee, which is usually displayed on this board, and you can pay using your travel card, or you can pay in cash too. You can use interstate buses as well to travel between major cities like Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and they are far cheaper than the bullet train. I've come across apps like Village Express or Japan Bus Online if you want to book tickets in English. Here on Village Express, it tells me that the average ticket price between Kyoto and Tokyo is around 76,000 yen, which is far cheaper than what you pay for your Shinkansen tickets for the same journey. So please do check them out if you're traveling light and want to save a bit on money as well. That dials into tip number 3. Buses are nowhere near as frequent as a subway train or a metro train. As you can see, on weekdays, the bus frequency ranges between 10 minutes to 15 minutes during peak hours, and then the frequency increases as you progress through the day. On weekends and public holidays, the frequency is even worse, with typical frequency ranging between 30 minutes. So plan your trip accordingly if you're taking a lot of buses, especially if you're traveling between shrines. That dials into section 4, the bullet train or Shinkansen. It is Japan's high-speed railway network, which is known for being super fast, super clean, and ultra punctual. So be there on time. It connects the major cities like Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, Hiroshima, and many other smaller cities in between. We went from Kyoto to Tokyo within 2.5 hours, and that was absolutely amazing, but quite expensive. So you've got different types of bullet trains as well. You've got the Nozomi, which is the fastest bullet train and takes the fewest stops between your destination. You've got the Hikari and you've got the Kodama as well. Both of them take more stops than the Nozomi and are usually slower. However, they are also cheaper in terms of ticket prices as well. And when we are speaking about bullet trains, you might have come across the JR Railway Pass as well. Now, the JR Pass has become quite expensive in the past few years. It is totally worth it if you're planning a longer vacation, upwards of 14 days, and it allows you unlimited rides across the JR rail network, which is quite handy if you're traveling that frequently. However, for most people, it is an overkill. JR Pass does not cover things like metros, subways, and buses, and for that, you'll need to use your public transport card. Hence, it's not worth it if you're planning a shorter trip and don't plan to use the JR network quite frequently, as subway and metro trains are a lot cheaper than JR trains. That dials into tip number 4. While booking your Shinkansen tickets, if you have got big bags and oversized bags, it's always a good idea to book a reserved luggage spot. Now, these reserved luggage spots can be booked while you're booking your tickets, and they are usually located behind the end seats, or they have a separate area next to the toilets usually. Another thing that you need to note, that if you are putting a lot of stuff behind your seat, then your seat would not recline and it might lead to an inconvenient journey overall. Hence, keep that in mind while booking your Shinkansen tickets, as these luggage spots get booked out pretty soon, especially during peak travel times. So in this video, I've not covered things like domestic flights. I have not taken one yet, but I've heard that in order to reach areas like Hokkaido or Okinawa, flights are often cheaper than bullet trains or interstate buses, so please do check them out as well. Traveling in Japan using public transports like subway, metro, or bullet train, it's just a part of an adventure, and I found it quite challenging, but it was absolutely amazing. And if you found this video super helpful and you're planning your next trip to Japan, please watch this video where I explain in detail how to apply for the Japanese e-visa process and the Japanese immigration process. And also I touch a bit upon how to install the public transport cards onto your phone. And with that, thanks for watching and safe travels. Bye bye.